Yeah. YouTube, what's going on, baby? It's your boy DAK, and we back at it again with another banger for y'all. Oh my God, we're back in the house. What's up, dude? See, this time I didn't start it off with no stupid ass dance or nothing. You know what I'm saying? I just felt like, hey, bro, you a grown man. Like, be on your grown man shit. You know what I'm saying? We gonna have a grown man intro. You know?
That really stinks. Taking a shower. Why you pooping? Why you stacking?
Had to do it, had to be done. What, I mean, I don't know what else you want from me. Drill beat remix. Okay. Yo, this is Sparta. I hit it back with a mortar, hitting that boy in his mouth, I couldn't back with no father, I'm hitting you and your father, What's up? Someone throw me in a cage with a lion. I promise you, I'll rip his ass up. I've been feisty lately, man. I don't know why it's something in the air. Maybe it's the full moon coming out, but you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm turning into a werewolf. Hack it, score. That game looks lit though. I think I want to do like the co-op mode with somebody on the channel. Let me know. Would that be fire? I think it might be fire. I remember as a kid in middle school, and the movie 300 came out. Spartans! What is your profession? Type shit, bro. Like, I remember when that movie came out. That shit got my testosterone levels to the roof. Like, after watching that movie, bro, I wanted to take down a small village by myself like I was Rambo or some shit. One of the craziest action movies of all time. I think it's goated. I really do. Everyone knows 300. Everyone knows about the Spartans, bro. Like that. The fight scenes in that movie too were fucking insane. And you know when people ask you like, oh, if you could go back in time, what year or century would you live in? But in high school, I used to always say, I want to be a Spartan. You know what I'm saying? I would go back and be a warrior, bro. And today we got a very interesting video by the Infographics Show. Give them a subscribe. We're gonna take a look at the lives of the Spartan warriors, how they live day to day. What I remember from high school and learning about the Spartans and shit like that, in Athens and Greece and all that, is like you start your warrior training as soon as you like able to walk type shit. Like they have been toddler baby fights in the baby rings, you know what I'm saying? They getting ready to pummel heads, you know what I'm saying? But ever since you're young, as soon as you can walk, bro, you are working out, you are going through brutal training, you know what I'm saying? You are raised in that environment, and that's why they were so good, bro. They were just a cohesive unit, an absolute unit. But today we're gonna see why their life actually sucked, and then I'm going to give my opinion on whether or not I would still want to be a Spartan, you know what I'm saying? Because if we're being honest, as a black man in society, I'm not going back to any time, because any time is way worse than this time right now. Yeah, just please don't ever ask a black person that question. It just doesn't make sense. But before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the post notifications so you know when I'm posting. And also, bro, if you like the video, go ahead and drop a like. I'm excited for this one. I think this one is gonna be a really good video. Of course, we're gonna stop, talk, commentate about the shit too, on how we feeling about the things. I really want to learn though how they were. I don't know.
Despite what Gerard Butler's glistening six-pack and billowing cape might indicate in the movie 300,
Gerard did his thing.
It turns out life as a Spartan warrior was actually kind of terrible. Though life was undoubtedly worse in ancient times on almost all levels, health, longevity, and hygiene,
for sure.
Warriors in the ancient Greek city-state of Sparta might have had it worst of all. Why? We sent our reluctant researchers back to ancient times to find out. You might think—
oh, real quick, bro, I just remembered that off rip. That would suck. Okay, if you're doing brutal training since you're a baby, a toddler, okay, you know how many injuries you're gonna have? They don't have a cast, they don't have no damn Tylenol, they don't got no damn numbing cream. They like, what? They don't, like, if you break your shin and your bones sticking out, they probably just gonna cut off your whole shit and call it a day.
I think that hell for Spartan warriors started during the intense military training when they were young men, or perhaps even teenagers, and you'd be wrong. First of all, boys in Sparta were destined to become warriors from the start.
From the
No
start.
one was asking them about their hopes and dreams or aspirations of starting.
Right, what if I want
want
to be a painter, bro?
When they were growing
like, I
up.
don't want to fight all
There was
the
only one permissible occupation.
I want to paint naked
soldier,
women.
otherwise known as hoplite in ancient Sparta. This meant that Spartan babies had to prove their fitness right out of the womb. Both boys and girls were inspected for signs of good strength, health, and any physical defects as soon as they were born. A myth persisted for centuries that babies who didn't pass this inspection were tossed into a gorge at the foot of Mount Taygetus.
Nigga like
Most
Simba.
historians now believe this to be untrue. Instead, the infants were abandoned on a hillside to die of exposure. So, that's not much better. Occasionally,
die of
someone would come by
exposure.
and
They
rescue
just
a baby,
die,
but at the
bro.
end of the day, the point is that the jaundice
The baby
that
would
kept you
cry
in the
itself
NICU a
to
bit
death. Oh,
longer
that's fucked
would
up.
have been
That's
a
fucked
death
up. That's
sentence in
fucked up.
ancient
That's crazy.
Sparta.
That's worse.
The
That's worse in
babies
my
that were
opinion.
lucky enough to
That's
make it
crazy.
through, and we use that term lucky lightly as there's a whole lot of insanity waiting for them, were bathed in wine to prove that they were in fact strong. That's a lot of strength tests so far for children who
Okay, now
cannot
the
walk.
baby drunk.
When they
Now you
cried
got
out
drunk
for
baby.
attention or to get their needs met, Spartan parents would often ignore their children or purposely put them in dark, isolated spaces so they'd learn to handle them. We assumed that there was no ancient Spartan version of CPS.
Oh, this is kind of
After infants
crazy.
had gotten all that pesky teething and learning to walk out of the way, the boys were placed in a strict military educational program at the ripe old age of 7. The program would last a whopping 13 years and was known as agoge. Boys were taken from their families and housed in communal barracks. They were instructed in warfare, hunting, athletics, and more scholastic education such as reading, writing,
This is
and poetry.
crazy though. They are
At age
building
12,
warriors.
when most of us were battling with braces or acne for the first time, Spartan boys had all their clothing taken from them and were forced to sleep outside. They
Okay,
were
yeah,
only
this is
handed a
already
red
dick.
cloak. So it turned out that 300
Niggas
were
is in the
actually
woods with a
boys,
red cloak,
except that Spartans
cloak,
almost never moved in slow motion.
And butt naked.
The boys then had to make their beds out of reeds and whatever other material they found in nature. In order
Oh
to
my
further
God,
prepare them
bro.
for the horrors and scarcities of the battlefield, their elders would encourage them to scavenge for food and steal if necessary. However, if they were caught stealing food, they would be mercilessly flogged or beaten, which is kind
Oh,
of the
you can't
exact
get
thing
caught,
the phrase
bro.
damned if you do, damned if you don't was invented for. The point of this, theoretically, as we're making that generous assumption here that the Spartan elders weren't just abusive sociopaths, was to toughen up the boys to withstand the cold, pain, and hunger on the battlefield. However, it wasn't enough to just make them endure such situations. The elders who taught them decided that they needed to instigate further problems as well. Spartan boys in the barracks were often encouraged to fight each other and participate in hazing of their fellow soldiers in training. Apparently, encouraging a spirit of camaraderie wasn't high on the Spartan priority list. Anyone who showed signs of fear or nervousness was especially targeted for ridicule.
Oh my
In fact,
God,
occasionally,
bro,
the
you just
girls in
get
town who were
bullied into
undergoing
being
their
a
own rigorous training programs
soulless
at home would sing in
killing
choruses at
machine.
formal ceremonies in front of Spartan elders and dignitaries. And in their
What are they
songs,
doing?
they would single out boys underperforming in the program to make fun of them.
Why is he on the ground?
Imagine that girl you have a crush on in elementary school coming up with a song that she performs in front of the principal and the rest of your classmates about that time you
About
had
how
an accident
you're
in first
how
grade
so much of
and
a
how much of a wuss
you
you
are.
are. Oh, and also, you're not in elementary school so much as your life is the Hunger Games. Pretty terrifying, huh? Last of all, before the
Bro,
teens became
that's so true. Your life is literally the fucking Hunger Games. You know, I might be cool over it. You know, I don't need to be a warrior like that. You know what I mean? I mean, you know, like I could be like this, like the strongest dude in a small village, right? I think that'll be a good title for me, because you know that I keep my ego just high enough, you know, to where I'm really self-confident. This is already kind of crazy, you know. We only at like age 12. Yeah, I already am like
man was the Diamastigosis. This was also known as the Contest of Endurance, in which teen boys were taken to the sanctuary of Artemis Orthia, placed in front of the altar, and flogged.
What is
sometimes
flogged?
to death. Though the practice originated
death?
as a religious ritual and a test of the boys' pain tolerance, it eventually became a grisly sport and a kind of tourist attraction. By the 3rd century AD, the
Bro,
town had
they're
constructed
just
an
murking
amphitheater around the
kids for being
sanctuary so visitors could observe the boys being flogged. So the boys went through their teen years learning that their
God
elders would
damn.
use pretty much any excuse in the book to abuse them. What happened once they reached the ripe old age of 20 and their primary education finished? Though the toughest part of the training was done, the hardships for a Spartan soldier were far from
Bro,
over.
niggas were
once
just
he
getting
reached
abused their entire
When men reached
childhood.
the age of 20, they started attending a type of mess hall known as susitia. The men were purposefully given bland, flavorless, and small rations.
It's not
so they
even
could
done
learn to
after
cope with hunger.
20?
Soldiers were expected to be fully devoted to their physical fitness via training and diet.
Okay,
in fact,
let me
any
live
Spartan
though.
Citizens who were overweight were not only publicly ridiculed, but could even be banished from Sparta for their weight.
How is anyone overweight
Basically,
here, bro?
imagine if
that's all you do is
bodybuilding
work
became
out.
a state-sponsored pastime. While the philosophers and artists of Athens would drink wine, eat heartily, and talk about life and culture,
I'm in
Spartan
Athens.
men kept their wine intake to a minimum.
Yo, that's
they would
hey,
shame
that
and
sound like
punish
a
teens
mine
for
spot.
becoming drunk. To show the ill effects of intoxication, they would frequently make the
this
members
drunk
of the
barbarian.
enslaved class, the helots, drink
Flog
to
him.
excess, then
Flog
parade them
him.
around the mess halls. This would be a good time to mention the people who were making Spartan society run while the local Spartan men participated in military training and child abuse. After all, both the Spartan army and the Spartan farms required skilled laborers and craftsmen to be productive. These jobs fell to the perioeci, free non-citizens from the surrounding areas of Laconia. The more labor-intensive jobs were assigned to the helots, a class of enslaved
hell? What is he,
fellow
they're
Greeks
supposed to be the
who made up
rooster?
most of Spartan's population. The helots vastly
supposed to
outnumbered the
scream as soon as you
Spartans
see
who
the sun?
became equal citizens, or homoioi. Though the exact numbers vary over time, according to Herodotus in 479 BC, helots outnumbered Spartan men by 7 to 1. In fact, part of the reason the Spartans kept such a well-trained army is to fend off constant threats of revolts from the helots. Not having an enslaved class in the first place and then not having to abuse your children either might have been the better solution to all this. But what's done is done. The helots unfortunately factored one of the last components of a Spartan warrior's training.
No, these niggas were terrible.
After the soldiers entered their 20s, the most skilled among them were organized into crypteia. Their mentors would give them daggers and a few essential supplies, and they were ordered to roam the roads and countryside day and night to find and murder helots at will. This served the double purpose of preparing the Spartan soldiers to kill others on the battlefield, while also thinning out the helot population so too many of them wouldn't band together in revolt. Though some Athenians and other Greeks criticized the practice as unimaginably cruel, which we would have
you just
thought was
murking
self-evident,
motherfuckers.
many Spartans saw it as a noble tradition. Plato described what a Spartan man named Megillus thought of the crypteia. Crypteia, as it's often called, affords a wonderfully severe training in hardihood.
Bro, the
As
training
men
never
go barefoot in winter and
stops.
sleep without coverlets and have no attendants, but wait on themselves and rove through the whole countryside both by night and by day. Megillus's description makes it sound like a coming-of-age outdoor adventure rather than the brutal killing spree that it was, which perhaps gives us an idea of how much Spartans accepted violence against the helots.
Oh my god.
Now that we've seen how Spartan warriors were punished, underfed, abused, left out in the cold, and then asked to become serial killers, let's turn to a subject that might have been a source of happiness for them: love. Hey, life might have sucked in all other respects for a Spartan warrior, but they must have found some solace in their relationships, right? Well, for those in the audience who haven't caught on by now, pretty much every aspect of Spartan warriors' lives was a catch-22 for which they could be punished. See, Spartan men were encouraged to marry in their 20s, so much so that men who hadn't found a wife by their late 20s were ridiculed. After all, the primary goal of the Spartan state was to create a more healthy young soldier.
God, mental abuse, physical
waited
abuse.
too long to marry. Yet, even though marriage was encouraged, communal living in military barracks didn't end until age 30, when Spartan soldiers were considered full citizens. This meant that though they were usually married for several years before turning 30, they would have to sneak out at night to visit their wives and be intimate with them. Even on their wedding night, Spartan men were expected to be back at the...
I can't go and make sweet jubilee with my wife whenever I please. Yeah, you got me fucked up.
barracks before dawn. This was to further emphasize the point that a Spartan soldier's primary loyalty should be to his city-state, even more so than to his own family. The wedding night itself was incredibly bizarre through our modern lens, or really any lens of any living person at any time. The night of their weddings, wives would shave their heads and dress in a man's cloak and sandals. Not exactly the sexy honeymoon outfit one might think of. They would then be left in either a dark room in their homes or in the husband's barracks, sources mention both, and wait for their new husband to pretend to kidnap them. The marriage would then be presumably consummated once everyone was clearly in the mood from all that incredible head shaving and kidnapping that
What the f did I just hear?
Why dress like men and shave their hair, you might wonder? Here is where we get to somewhat controversial part of the history of ancient Sparta. While teenage boys were in the Agoge program, they almost always had an older mentor in his 20s training them, educating them, and guiding them into adulthood. There's plenty of evidence that some of those relationships were sexual in nature, though the extent to which this happened is highly debated.
I know, bro. That's one thing I was hearing about Sparta too. You know what I'm saying? They was on that. I also heard that if you someone of a higher rank, then you would take their rank and they would be deranked type shit, bro. Hey, I don't know if that's true. And first of all, did we just hear that they have to like do this whole ritual to shave their heads, wives, kidnap them, marry them under the moonlight? What the f? Bro, no! No! Wait, bro, no, I didn't know all this, okay? I didn't know all this, all right?
Either way, any physical relationship was supposed to stop when a boy became an adult, so the exact opposite of our consent laws today. Some
was supposed to
historians
stop.
have posited that newlywed wives dressed as men in order to help Spartans make the transition from sleeping with men to women. This is contested.
That's why they shaved their fucking heads? So... Nah, this some sick shit, bro. I'm not fucking with, nope. Their wives have to make them feel more comfortable having with a woman. So she shaves her head in the beginning for probably the first year of the relationship so that he can get used to women. Mind you, none of that was happening before he turned 20 was consensual. I'm about to lose my fucking mind. I'm sitting backwards on my chair.
By others who argue that while Spartan boys did shave their hair in their early teen years, Spartan men took pride in wearing their hair long after that. So the wives shaving their hair for this reason wouldn't make much sense. Any case, throw possible sexual assault into the mix as one of the many things Spartan warriors might have had to deal with. Now, let's say this military training
is part of the training, huh? Just part of the training.
Boy has miraculously made it through multiple tests and abuses he's had to suffer through from birth to age 30, and is now a full citizen of Sparta, with his own home, wife, and land. Surely things must get better from here on out. Well, sorta.
Wartime was probably
those Spartan
terrible.
soldiers did get farmland that was carefully maintained by those poor helots. They were on reserve duty as soldiers until age 60. They were even expected to eat meals with their fellow soldiers and spent a lot of time in the barracks, even after they were no longer required to live there. Each Spartan soldier had a bronze helmet, a breastplate, round shield made of bronze and wood, a sword, and a long spear. The shield is important, as it features in perhaps one of the most well-known phrases to come out of Sparta: "Return with your shield or on it." Supposedly, this was what mothers said to their sons before sending them off to war. As usual, Sparta was all about the tough love. In essence, this meant that a Spartan soldier was expected to return victorious, and if not, at least dead.
Crazy, bro.
Surrendering during a battle was considered an abject disgrace, and most of the Spartan men who did this either ended up killing themselves or fighting to the death in a later battle to redeem themselves. So, even in adulthood, a Spartan soldier was expected to focus most of his life on fighting, and then expected to either win or die.
Does it get better? Fuck no, Timmy. Oh my god.
This didn't bode
oh my
well
god. Yeah, when you're 61 and you don't have to fight anymore and you're just an old noble and you're just big chilling.
A Spartan soldier made it to the age of 60, he was officially considered retired and would be able to honorably withdraw from the army at any
bro,
future
your
battles.
life gets
At
easy
this
when
age,
you
he
turn
had a chance
60.
of joining the Council of Elders, known as the Gerousia, meaning that after a lifetime of abuse,
and these old sick ass niggas, they just be walking around touching
assuming
people, bro.
He made it to 60 in the first
Women,
place.
children, all that.
War,
Oh,
hunger,
god.
and disease. This was an unlikely proposition at best.
Think about all that pent up aggression and abuse that they had. Oh hell, Jesus Christ. Oh, they probably just let it all out until they dead. Damn. Y'all ain't this flexible, bro. Y'all ain't this flexible, bro. Y'all really not. And it's a shame, too. Just stretch. Every day. 10, 20 minutes. Stretch your full body. And get athletic. Yeah, no. You're going to have to miss me with that bullshit. You're going to have to miss me all. You got me fucked. There's no way. What did we just hear, bro? All I heard was sexual abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, spiritual abuse. My God. Niggas just go through abuse until 60. And then they're allowed to enjoy life. If they make it there, which I'm sure most did not. What the dude, there's no way, no. I would know. Okay, Sparta, no. I don't even think it's cool anymore, man. Fuck that shit. See me in Athens, bro. I'm in Athens with the artists and the painters. You know what I'm saying? I'm over there with the philosophers, bro. Me and Socrates and Pluto having a conversation. Lit as fuck, bro. Passing the J. Hey, if you liked the video, make sure you like that motherfucking video, bro. Follow my socials. They are linked in the description. And I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.